Hey. Welcome. I just got back from the pool, and you'll see in a minute why that reminded me of this story that I want to share about my inner child healing experience that I had. And I hope that this gives you like a confidence boost like it did for me, makes you feel way less alone. And if you've ever felt like different or a loser or left out or just like not on the same page as the people around you, this is going to make you feel better, I hope. To be honest, I haven't wanted to get into this because I have told this, I went through the experience and then I told the story one time to my mom. Didn't want to tell her either, to be honest. I was like, it feels like a lot to get into and I might feel a lot of emotion. However, I think that this can help somebody, and that could be my future daughter. And I just think this is important to capture and get down and to share this story because it's going to help somebody else. So, and I'm going from memory, so stick with me. So I was guided through an inner child healing experience kind of thing as part of like internal family systems, which I think is related to like this like parts, which is a book that I'm reading right now, No Bad Parts, and that's related. If you want to like go down the rabbit holes, feel free. Click into those. This is kind of hard for me. I don't even want to edit this because I don't really want to spend that much time on it, but because I don't know, I just feel like it's something I need to share. So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. Like, we're just gonna sit here until I tell the parts that I remember, and then we'll continue on with our lives. So here's what I remember. We were talking about life and stuff, and I was saying how I often think about all of the shoulds. Like, I was evaluating this relationship by like, should I be with them? Does this make sense? Should I? I often think in terms of should. Like, am I doing the right thing? Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I? Whatever. And so the person guiding me through said, okay, great. We're going to think back to, if you're open to it, we're going to do this inner child work. And we're going to think back to the first time that you felt this feeling. So we did a meditation, like a relaxation thing, lots of deep breaths, which honestly I should do now. And then she says, when you think of that feeling, basically wondering if you're doing the right thing, how does that feel in your body? And do you remember that the first time that you felt that? And right away, like once she said, feel that feeling, my brain starts like ping-ponging around, like so much commotion. And then same with my chest, like buzzing. And it's like, it felt like probably anxiety and just like a lot of energy and like darting around. And it made me feel like I was looking for, like I'm searching. Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, yeah. What should I be doing? And I remember like that feeling makes me want to find some authority, like somebody please tell me what to do. And I was explaining to her that I was often around kids that were younger than me. And I was the oldest kid in my family, oldest cousin. And she said it kind of makes sense because a lot of times kids, they look up to the older kids to know what to do. So it makes sense, like if you had nobody like at your age or above often in your life, then like in the groups there were not many girls or anyone my age or above. And so just a side note, like that kind of makes sense. Of course, all of this is like theory and like it's just analyzing, and it's also, I don't want to say just, but it's analyzing, it's theory, it's my interpretation of things and then her interpretation of things. Like, I know that I touch my screen every once in a while because it goes black. So then she was like, now go back to when you were a kid and let's pick a memory from then. But like as like an 8-year-old or whatever, she said a few different ages, like, what were you like? What did you like to do? And I'm like thinking. She's like, does any memory stand out to you? And then I thought of myself at a swim meet sitting on a pool chair reading at a swim meet, and there are all these kids around, but I'm alone and I'm reading. And on my swim team, I remember being like the only girl my age or in my age bracket at all. And so I didn't really have that many, I didn't have friends on the swim team. And I had no girls my age. I was like 12, 13, 14 years old. I feel like I would swim with the 18-year-olds because there was nobody in my age bracket. So I would swim up all the time and be against people that were a lot faster. And okay, yeah, I feel a little bit more removed from it right now, but I was at this swim meet and I just felt very kind of self-conscious that I was reading. Glad I'm doing this now because I kind of forget. So that feeling of should, I was like, I don't know. So I felt kind of like I should be enjoying this more and I'm not. Like I'm reading and I'm trying to be confident about it, but there's something inside of me that's like, I feel like a loser, kind of like there's a lot of commotion around me. Like the parents are out of this area of swimmers. There are all these swimmers under 18, like we were young, and the coaches, and everyone seems to be having like a good time hanging out with their friends, like enjoying the day. And I just wanted to like fly completely under the radar. I just wanted to like come, swim, and nobody notice me, like please. And so I would bring a book, and even though that's what I wanted to be doing, I like really enjoyed reading. And I was like really happy to have that book, and like I had a good time reading the book, but there was like that voice in the back of my head of like, this is kind of weird that you're like doing this alone. Like I just noticed like I'm alone, everyone else seems to be having fun with their friends, and I'm just like very quiet reading and wanting to fly under the radar. And then as this person was guiding me through it, she was like, if the version of you now went up to your 8-year-old self, like what would she do or say? Like, would she be okay with her coming up to talk with her? I was like, no, like absolutely not. Like wanting to be like completely under the radar, like do not talk to me, do not, like I just don't want to be seen, I do not want to be interacted with, like don't even sit next to me. Like we were talking about that, and then I was talking about like how I didn't want to just leave the swim meet because like I wanted to swim, and doing the meets is just something you have to do. And like I didn't want to like not do that, and I would have felt bad for just like missing something. I don't know. So anyway, it wasn't a very pleasant feeling. Like I didn't like the swim meets, but it was something that I had to do. And then we talk about like, what would you rather have been doing? And I was like, oh my gosh, I would rather be in my parents' basement, like in the neighborhood, down from the pool, and in the air-conditioned basement, dark rooms, like, yeah, dark room, watching TV, maybe Hannah Montana or Zack and Cody, and getting an ice cream sandwich. I should do that today, honestly. I kind of feel like that right now because I just went to this pool party event and I was putting myself out there. But oh my gosh, I would rather be here in the dark right now. I really would. So very similar kind of feeling. Okay, so we were talking about like this feeling of home that I had and comfort and safety in my parents' basement, or like in my basement at the time. Like that was just the best feeling ever, just like lounging. But it only felt good if I had gone to the meet. Like it didn't feel as good skipping out, because if I just like left the meet and like skipped it, then it would be, I have this feeling of like everybody is there and I'm supposed to be there. Even if somebody said, oh, you're fine, like it still feels like the pressure. And when I tell you, I won't get too far into this, but I've felt this my entire life with a lot of different things. Like living at the beach now, like sometimes I've said this before, I want to just chill, do this or do breath work or take a nap, like watch a movie during the day or just like be more chill. And I'll see people like walking down to the beach and like you go around town, everybody's partying. Obviously not everybody, but with me, there's a big thing around like me enjoying my nights and weekends, like going to sleep at 9. I used to feel this feeling way more of like everybody's out partying. So even though I was doing what I wanted to be doing, it didn't feel good because I felt like something was wrong with me and like I should be wanting to go out partying and drinking and stuff. I've rarely gotten drunk when I was drinking for like a few years. And yeah, I drank like in college, but really not too much since. And I haven't had a drink in years. And I don't know, I just don't really like it. And I like going to bed at 9. I just like being well rested. I like being productive, all this stuff. That's for another topic. But like, because of the drinking and like going to bed early, and for some reason, like, I don't know. Anyway, if you know me, I've never been a huge partier, like parties, and for some reason, sometimes I just don't like. Sometimes I do now. But for a lot of my life during college and beyond, like, I would have this feeling of everybody's partying and I'm at home. And that's kind of like at the pool. If I'd gone home, I would know everybody's at the pool. All right, going back to my inner child, my 8-year-old self. So if myself now, okay, so this is the point where I was like crying during it, and I feel kind of healed, now that I've actually gone through the emotions twice. We'll see. But okay, so that 8-year-old was like really like self-conscious and like flying under the radar, like, and also like, what the heck is wrong with me? Like feeling so different than the other kids, like so sad. Like I was literally crying talking about this, and I was like, I do not want to be talked to. And like, yeah. And then we were talking about like, what would like make that 8-year-old Emily feel better. And it wasn't stuff like, you don't have to go to the meet, or it's okay that you're doing that. I was like searching my brain because I still had that, like I still felt like something was wrong with me at the time last week when I don't want to do things that like the crowd is doing or whatever. So it took a while to get to the point of this conversation about what would actually help this 8-year-old Emily. And there were topics about like, first of all, so freaking cool that she's reading. There are kids that probably couldn't read or like wanted to read, or like the person guiding me through it was like, actually I got that from her because she was like, she said she's dyslexic and she thought her sister was so smart and cool because she could read. So there might be people jealous of me reading, like, oh my gosh, she's so cool. And then also there are probably people like having fun with their friends, or they seem like they're having fun, or they're in the group, but they wished that they were like having quiet time reading a good book or like reading their book. And maybe they didn't even think of that as an option. Like I was like carving my own path. I'm like, I'm going to read the book. Yeah, I was thinking about like the appearance, like in my head, everybody's having the most amazing time, but actually people all have their own insecurities and are probably, some other people are definitely in their heads about different things. Like they might not be feeling like they're fitting in with people, even though they're interacting with them, like all the same stuff as I see in my life now and throughout my life. Like just because somebody has so many friends doesn't mean that they like that friend group. Like somebody told me once they wish they could start over because they don't like any of their friends, but like they don't know how to make new friends or branch out, or like what do you do once you already have a group? Like people just kind of go along with things, you know what I mean? Also, I was a super slow swimmer and I loved swimming. Okay, that's a different topic, but I was just thinking about how some kids might be nervous about like the actual swimming and like doing well or being watched. Like I didn't care about any of that stuff. Like I took my time. Like I loved the swimming part, and I wasn't self-conscious about being slow. Like I loved being in the water. Oh yeah, and then there are a lot of girls that quit or never joined swim team because there were no other girls their age, and I still did it because I still liked swimming. So it's like bold, courageous, and confident for me to just be there. Like I'm playing the game. I'm there because I want to be, and because there's parts that I want to be. Like there's so many parts that I love about it, like being outside. I got to swim every day in the morning and get it. Like it was just super fun. One thing I forgot to mention, that feeling of home that I felt in the basement with the ice cream sandwich and watching Zach and Cody, we talked about how like I was just really feeling how that felt, and it was so like comfortable and stuff. And she was saying that I can feel that anytime. Like know that you can tap into these feelings at any time. And since then I've been feeling that feeling more at my house now. So that's a cool little thing too. Just that like, yeah, childhood home, basement, summer feeling, air conditioned, is a really good, probably like the best feeling, one of the best feelings for me. So, and I've been accessing it more since this experience. And I'm proud of myself for like doing it at all and not letting like no other people there my age stop me. And then the fact that I was reading a book, like just carving my own path and like still choosing the things that I actually wanted to do and that made me happy. So that was really cool. It also makes me think about just the fact of like what you think people are thinking and what they look like. So versus how they actually feel, because it reminds me of like body image stuff too. Like you think the person with the perfect body doesn't have issues, but like, you know, most models have like severe like insecurities, or like you meet people all the time with like eating disorders, but they look amazing. Like you really don't know what's going on in their head. And you can't tell by looking at someone or a crowd like how they all feel. But as somebody who wants something they have or like thinks that they should be a certain way, it's easy to like just be like, oh, everybody who looks amazing also feels amazing, and I would want to switch places with them. Or like, what's wrong with me that I'm not? I don't know if that makes sense. Basically, that makes myself accept myself more. Like it all, I don't know. It kind of all comes back to accepting yourself maybe, and like listening to yourself. Okay, whatever. I lost my train of thought. I don't have something to say about that, but what else were we talking about? I made a little video about this, but confidence doesn't always look like confidence. Like as I was saying more and more, I'm like, wow, I actually was very confident. I was doing exactly what I wanted to be doing. Like what? Like I didn't let all these fears, insecurities and stuff get in the way of what I was doing, and I would like go show up every time, read a book. Like it didn't make me quit, like all this stuff. Like that's a very confident thing to do, but I felt the complete opposite of confident. So I don't know. I just thought that was a cool takeaway too. Like you don't have to feel confident. Sometimes like being confident and cool like feels like being a loser, and like you could feel insecure, I guess. But you're building confidence maybe too. So yeah. Also just the fact that so I was talking about like I just didn't want to be different. Like what's wrong with me? I feel so different from people. And as I was saying that, because it wasn't that long ago apparently, because I had these nails, and I was like, LOL that I say that, because now I love doing like different things like this. There's so many ways that I embrace my uniqueness now, and like I make different decisions, and I like love it. Like I actually love being a trailblazer. I love being the only one doing something, like so many times in life. So it's like funny that as an 8-year-old, and I still had part of that self like unhealed. Like I think something's wrong with me. Like why am I different? And I can get like that's in the background of my mind, but really coming back around to like, I want to be different. And then that reminds me of, you might have heard before, like, why you might feel different, but do you want to feel like everybody else? Do you want to act like everyone else? Like, look around. Most people, like, I want to be so freaking different. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to do my own thing. I want to live my own life, like, in a different way than anyone I've ever known. How do you do that? Not by doing the exact same thing as everybody else. By thinking for yourself, for trusting your intuition, for like showing up even when it feels hard. All these things I was doing at 8. So, I don't know. That felt kind of good too. So, that might be it. So yeah, I just like, yeah, kind of cool that I didn't feel all the emotions right now. And like, yeah, I just went to, so yeah, I don't know. It felt very like healing and like confidence boosting. Like, okay, like, I like who I am and I'm doing what I want to be doing. And like, let's keep doing it. And I feel like such confidence with building this business, for example. And like, I'm making a lot of different decisions these days. And in priorities and stuff. And I'm feeling more like confident and embracing it more than I have in the past, because I think I would carry those feelings of like insecurity and being a loser and all this stuff. But I'm like, I've already grown a lot, and I think now I'm just next level after this inner child healing of like, this is who I am, my authentic self, and this is what I like to do, and I'm gonna make the best of every situation. I don't know. I think that was it for the inner child healing. So please, if you want, I'd love to hear if this helped. Maybe hit like, hit subscribe if you want more on my life. I'm always growing and exploring. My name is Emily, and I am a mindset coach. I want to help people live their most bold and courageous life. And I think that we're all on earth to live the best life that we can with our unique strengths and gifts. Like, even with that pool story, it like says a lot about me, I feel like. And like leaning into that more to make like, to create my best life, and that helps both me and the people around me. And I want to help my clients too. So if you're interested in coaching, and if that sounds like something that you're wanting to do at this point, click the link in my bio to apply to work with me. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for listening. If you have any other questions or comments, leave a comment, DM me on Instagram. And yeah, have a good day. I'm so glad I did this.